And Quebec is our focus first for this hour as we look live there at the National Assembly in Quebec City, where the provincial government is moving ahead on plans for an immunity passport, digital proof given to people who get the coronavirus vaccine. John Northcott is leading off our coverage on this issue. John, lots of controversy around this kind of document, including in Quebec. We got that first confirmation yesterday from Quebec officials. They are considering this.
Yeah, indeed. Manitoba mentioned this as well, Heather. This is a situation where, in an effort to get the economies moving, there is a suggestion that perhaps a vaccine passport might be the way to go. Whether or not international travel into this country, intra-provincial travel potentially, but also within certain industries. In other words, where you have a workforce that could be endangered by this, everyone has a vaccine passport, and then they show that to be able to be allowed to work. Now, issues around that, but first, let's listen to the Quebec Health Minister.
I don't see why we could not have, as I mentioned earlier, what we call the QR code, that we have on our boarding pass when we fly. So I think it's just normal that we go there. I think in preparation for that, we ask our IT people, but also on public health, what are the conditions that we could have to make sure that when you're being issued a QR code, you're really vaccinated, and that can be quite helpful.
Now, he went on to say he admitted that it wasn't a fully formed idea, suggesting perhaps he spoke a little too soon. Still, though, the opposition, Quebec Solidaire, coming out and saying this could be potentially discriminatory. All this around potentially individuals who, for whatever reasons, because of their age, potentially, because of the industry they work in, could be discriminated against. Also, we're talking about what amounts to personal medical information also being put out there. When asked about this idea when it first came up not long ago, Public Health Agency of Canada didn't have those concerns in particular, but their concerns were more medical around the fact that, let's face it, we don't know a lot about these vaccines yet in terms of 100% efficacy over a long period of time. We're not sure what it means entirely, and that's why they have their concerns at this stage. Heather?
I'm thinking we were talking about this Wednesday of this week, and Dr. Samir Gupta said that exact thing. The science is not rock solid yet behind that. And we also heard in reporting out of Manitoba, John, that civil libertarians, for example, very much concerned about that slippery slope and potential inequities that you mentioned. But the idea is gaining traction, and not just in Canada, around the world too.
Yeah, the idea of showing that you've been vaccinated for something not unheard of. In fact, for children to go to school, issues around that. Of course, children not yet receiving COVID-19 vaccinations. If you want to go to a country where yellow fever is a concern, and that's everywhere from Barbados to Bhutan, they don't want you importing it. You have to have a little yellow card if you're traveling there. Boris Johnson's looking at this in the UK. The European Union met yesterday on this and talked for 5 hours. Angela Merkel coming out of that meeting and saying, we'll do everything possible to allow for the free movement of goods and allow commuters to get to work, but this obviously requires additional safety measures such as tests and so on. Still, though, some suggestion there. Israel has it for people going even to movies and restaurants. So no question, this is out there and it is in circulation as an idea. Heather?
Thank you very much. Oh, wait, we have more from you because, we put the solicit out to our viewers saying, what are your thoughts on all of this, John? Some of them up on the screen right there, but bring us some because already this is generating a lot of conversation this morning.
Oh boy, is it ever. We just put the call out last hour, Heather, to our viewers, and they're saying things like this. Let's start with Terri Diamond saying, people have already been stressed to the extreme. This will further alienate and divide. So, not a good idea. This coming from Francis, so channeling his inner Eliza Doolittle there. No bloody way, I will restrain myself and leave it at that. Someone, though, speaking in favor of this, coming from Vernon, of course, it's a good idea. Society, including business, can't move forward without them. People will be motivated to comply in order to obtain passport necessary for social participation and travel. They may be temporarily divisive, but individuals can decide to comply or be divided out of the loop. That's what we're hearing.
Indeed. Businesses, airlines, very eager for this. John, thank you very much.
Okay.